Tonight I played Natera New Beginning board game, which is a Kickstarter. It is a resource building board game where the premise is that humans have messed up, have smoked each other off the planet, and animals took over that basically become intelligent and so on and so forth. Um, the game does have a learning curve to it, but isn't too bad once you actually start playing and recognizing kind of how to play cards and when to, how to take your actions and stuff like that. And the board game consists of 4 rounds, but the rounds are long, where people go around the board doing their actions until they can't anymore, and there's 4 rounds of that, and then the game ends, and then points are brought up. So that's the premise of the game. So positives on it is that the board is solid, the cards are solid, the artwork's really good. Um, the tokens used for placing your units, I'm going to call them, is really solid. They're hard pieces. The cards are decent. They're not flimsy. I like the player boards you have. They're very simplistic, where you can place your resources and stuff like that in with ease, so it's easy access. Um, Things like that. Um, in the beginning, when you're learning, can take a while, but once you grasp the concept of buying things and so on, the game can go relatively faster, but still can take an hour and a half, I'm going to say roughly, to go around and one playthrough, depending again on speed and how people know the game and whatnot. Um, the negatives on it is that uh, if you don't like building resource management games like Terraforming Mars as an example, because there's some of that here, then you're not going to probably look at this game. But if you like building management resource type games, then you'll pick this up probably quick if you've or after you've played Terraforming Mars. Some of that, as I said, with this, they have tracks and so on and so forth. Um, it's not a fast game, so you can play. I believe you can play 1 player to 4 players with it, but it's not a fast paced game. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, that's a knock against it as well. But overall, I think it is a pretty interesting board game on its own. For me personally, it's not a game that I would be playing often, because building games and resource games, they take a lot of time. So you need that bunch of hours to play a couple games, if that. Uh, I'm more along the lines of board games where it's kind of like dungeon crawler, fantasy, that sort of deal. But um, I had a good time with it. Like I said, it takes a bit to get used to the mechanics of it, but once you actually do it, it's very interesting. First game I played Bears, so I was managing the tracks. There's If you look up the rules for that, you'll get know what I mean, like on the board. For my second game, I was playing the chimpanzee group there, that was more towards the science part of things and tech. So it was very interesting at that point. So each faction has its own kind of play style, which is really cool. Anyway, that's what I think of Natera, New Beginning. Go check it out if you're into, as I mentioned, resource building kind of deal. Give it a go when it's full released. And you'll probably really get a kick out of it. I think between this and terraforming Mars, I probably would say I like this a lot better than terraforming Mars. To be honest, if I'm going to compare resource building management's kind of deal, so that's what I think.